Welcome everyone to the 25th episode of QCast. I am your host Glory, and today I am joined with someone else. It's been 3 weeks, but I'm also joined with Pengo1998. So how you doing, Pengo?
Woo! I'm alive.
Yay! And I'm also joined with Rocky and Cringey. How you two doing? Well, Cringey's gone now.
Cringey's dead. And Rocky's dead.
Wait, no. So. Wait, Rocky left. Cringey's now. Cringey!
Your audio completely cut out for me for about a minute.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Pango could hear me, so. Well, where's your brother? Where the hell did he go?
No idea.
Fuck's sake. Alright, if he doesn't show up here in a minute, then I'm gonna fucking, I don't know, yell at him. Alright. Okay. So, oh dear. Okay. So how are you doing today, Cringey? You doing well?
I am alive and slightly drunk. Just joking. Not.
I expect that from Rocky, not from you. Alright. Alright. So,
I can do it.
Oh dear. Okay. So, let's see. We don't have much this week, as per usual, but what we do have is quite big in terms of importance. So in case of you guys have been kind of living under a rock, hold up, there we go. If you couldn't tell, Dual Universe on Thursday posted updated the pre-alpha to R.0.10. Yes, yeah, wait, no, it's not R.0.10. It's R0.10. You get it. So, that's a thing now. Unfortunately, as much as we'd like to discuss about it, NDAs are fun. I need to get that on a t-shirt. Real talk. With how many times I fucking say that. Just get a t-shirt and put NDAs are fun. Anyways, and even if we were able to talk about it, I was not on Thursday for the test, so I honestly have no idea what's going on because I was busy graduating. Because I'm now done with public schooling. So, yay me. I did something that everyone is required by law to do. Aren't you guys proud of me?
Well, not really. I mean, you could drop out. Also, that may not be the end of your public education because there are public colleges.
Fuck off.
Also, I like how you said that I'm still in school. Yeah, I'm not. I'm heading off to sixth form.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. So, but even though I was not on, we do have some stuff that Dual Universe has released for the pre-alpha update. They just showed off a new video titled Dual Universe Pre-alpha Gameplay Preview Scanning and Mining. So in normal fashion, we're gonna watch it and then talk about it because that's what we do. So yeah, enjoy this and yeah, enjoy.
Hi guys, this is Jesse from NovaQuark.
And I'm NQ Entropy, game designer at NovaQuark.
Today we're going to show you what we've been working on for our mining and scanning gameplay in the pre-alpha 0.10 update. So let's get started. The first tool we're going to look at is the hand scanner. The hand scanner is essentially a proximity device that detects the closest vein of any ore type within range.
It's important to note that it detects a single vein of one ore, but you can see different ores at the same time.
That's correct. The key is that as you run around, the scanner will periodically auto-ping and you'll be able to tell if you're getting closer or further from the nearest detected ore. You can start off by running on the surface, but eventually you will have to dig, as all ores are buried in the ground.
We consider the scanner to be a mid-range scanning device. You won't be able to see very far underground, but you can rapidly and easily detect ores close to the surface.
For now, the max range is 400 meters, which is usually good enough to detect level 1 and sometimes level 2 ores, of which there are currently 5 different levels in the game.
So once you've used the scanner and you've gotten as close as possible to your ore cluster, you can start to use the second tool we're going to be showing you today, the detector.
Usually, you want to be using the detector inside a 50 meters radius, as it won't be of much use past that range.
It's an aim-based tool that detects ore when you look in the right direction. Once you're in range, you can scan the environment around you by looking around. You'll know you have something when you get a hit on the density spectrum.
And the density spectrum will tell you how heavy the ore you're looking at is. The color coding is actually the same for the scanner and the detector, meaning the scanner also tells you the density of the ore you're tracking.
So now that we've scanned down and detected our ore, let's talk about mining. With a new update, we now have a dedicated mining tool.
When aimed at ore, the mining tool now behaves as a channeling action that you must hold while keeping your aim at the ore. By doing so, you will grow a mining sphere, and the longer you hold it, the bigger the sphere gets. You can release this sphere at almost any time to gather the ore.
The channel action is actually split into two periods of time while the sphere grows, unstable and stable. Unstable time can be considered as the time during which the tool warms up and is calibrating itself. During that time, you will not be able to mine. However, quickly the tool will stabilize itself, and you are then free to mine however you like.
One more thing. Different ores can be more or less difficult to mine. Lower level materials will be much easier to mine, as your tool can work faster. Others, however, will be much harder, and your mining sphere may grow very slowly.
So we scanned it down, we detected it, now we have a bunch of ore mined in our inventory. Let's talk about getting it back topside.
We've introduced what we're calling the primary container. At any time, you can walk up to a container you own and declare it as a primary container.
The primary container will now show up in your inventory as a new tab in the top left, and you can now directly transfer items and ore from your inventory to your primary container. All you have to do is right-click on the item in your inventory and select the Move to Primary Container option, and there it goes. Furthermore, the weight of what is in this containers is going to be taken into account for transportation.
Speaking of transportation, we've overhauled the way hover engines work, and transport-like hovercraft now have improved maneuverability, handling, and a superior ability to carry heavy loads. Alright guys, that's all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed it and can't wait for you to get your hands on it. If you have any feedback, don't hesitate to hop on over the forums.
See you guys later.
See you soon in Dual Universe.
Alright, so yeah, that was kind of a cool video. In addition to some very nice graphics, you know, they showed off some things. So I want to get opinions while I, of course, have to edit the host list because apparently Rocky can't now do this. Fucking bitch. Alright. There we go. Okay. Cringey, did you watch the video?
I was watching it with the stream.
Okay. Well, what are your opinions then?
I think it's quite a nice idea, actually. The circle thingy.
Okay. And
I like how it also different ores take different times for that circle to grow. I like that feature.
okay. Pango, opinions on the mining and scanning?
It's a good system. I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that there are no actual tools. It's all, part of your suit. But otherwise, the actual mechanics for scanning and finding stuff is pretty good. I don't like games where they're just like, here's where the ore is, and tells you exactly where it's at. That just kind of takes away a bit of the fun. There's no finding it. It's just, it also means that people who aren't really sure what they're doing it guarantees that people who don't know what they're doing or don't really try are going to find stuff. And basically, it instead of having it so that people who don't want to put the effort into it get stuff, it's instead taking it and making it so people who actually put the effort in will get stuff. The people who want to be lazy don't get anything, or they don't get much.
I mean, and keep in mind that people don't have to mine if they don't want to. You know, they can just buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could buy it. I mean...
Now, even though, the one thing that I noticed, even though they have a very impressive like-to-dislike ratio of 597 to 8, as I'm viewing this.
I mean that's
kind of
typical. example though for a lot of videos.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've seen worse. But personally, like if you look at the comments, like there's a lot of comments where people do not like this system. And I personally, and the main complaints are that it takes too long, it's too challenging. They should. There are a lot of complaints about like kind of just using force, like you know how they're kind of using the force hands with like.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's most of what I saw when I was looking at comments.
Personally,
People complaining that they weren't a fan of the lack of actual tools. It was all built into the suit, which I agree with that. I mean, it's. I do wish they would have put actual tools in the game rather than it being you just waving your hand at it.
Personally, I don't particularly mind it too much. I feel like it's kind of more of a minute thing, but oh well. But personally, I like the system. It kind of reminds me a lot of the old Minecraft ways where you don't like get everything handed to you. You kind of just have to go around and actually look and kind of spend hours on end down in the mines, kind of just doing random shit. What?
I wouldn't quite compare it to Minecraft
well,
at all.
I'm not completely comparing it to Minecraft. I just said it reminds me. You say this is easier?
Well, yeah,
the scanning. With the scanning, yeah.
For instance, Minecraft, you don't have a scanner. You basically just have to sit there and mine in some direction until maybe, hopefully, you find what you're looking for. This, you just have to walk around pressing the button. Once you get in the general area of something, you just use a directional scanner to find out its exact location. Yeah. This actually gives you a way to narrow it down. So this would be easier than Minecraft.
Yeah. And I mean,
so anyone complaining that it's too hard needs to just get over themselves and stop being lazy.
Honestly, like, I personally don't think it's too challenging. And I kind of like the fact that different ores take different times. Like, I feel like that should be, like...
For mining, yeah. I mean, to me, like, see, this is where I kind of... Part of the reason why I'd rather have, like, different, you know, levels of tools, because then you could say have it maybe lower end tools take longer, but higher end tools don't. This way you can speed up the mining of higher end materials.
Mm-hmm. They could always add that in a later update.
Yeah, they can.
Or what they could do is, you know, if they're really set on not having actual tools, they could just they could just make it so you could upgrade, say, the mining module on your suit, so that it mines faster. You know, it's with, you know, either it takes so many resources of certain level based on the upgrade or whatever else. But yeah, I definitely think that there should maybe be some upgrades because the later level mining is quite slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely thought it was kind of slow with the carbon. Like,
yeah, I mean, so the way I see it is either you can kind of make the higher level materials more valuable by either making it take longer to mine or by there being less of it. Mm-hmm. In order to, you know, kind of balance it out. However, you could also just make the upgrades to speed it up be very expensive so that it's only really worth upgrading if you're going to be mining, you know, large amounts of it. So if you're a dedicated miner. Mm-hmm. And even then, you could make it so that the speed of the fully upgrade is, say, only slightly faster than what we currently have. But then the lowest level is quite a bit slower than what we currently have for the final level. I would say keep the earlier levels about the same throughout all the levels because I mean that's pretty fast as is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also something that Kurok just brought up. They are having a skill tree in this, so I mean they could probably have skills.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah. So I mean,
they might actually implement it that way then, and that would be probably easy.
Surprise me. But my two gripes with the mining and scanning, and it's specifically both with kind of mining, even though the second one's kind of more like with just transportation. The mining, like when it, like how they say you have to wait for it to warm up, I'm not too big on that. I feel like it should honestly, like it should be instantaneous, or it should take less time than what they showed off in the video. Like in the video, it seemed like it took like 10 seconds. So it's just like, holy shit.
But yeah, but so basically, like I don't like the so when you start holding the button, you have that sphere that goes outwards from point that you're aiming, that dictates how much you mine. I don't think there should be an instability there. I think you should be able to go, or at least maybe it should start out at you know, say a minimum size, and then grow from there. And in this way, if you just click and let go, like just normal left mouse click, it should just mine the smallest area that it's set to, its minimum area, rather than having a warm up period.
Well, I guess you're right on that, Kurok. that delay makes botting harder. I mean, I just feel like it's a bit too long. Like, waiting like
really.
10, 15 seconds for it to like load up. It's like, and then you can mine. It's like, what the I don't know. I personally...
The delay, I don't really see it affecting the ability for botting mining at all. I mean, first off, it'll be pretty difficult to create bots for it to begin with. I mean, given with what we currently have as far as technology goes for AI and such, it wouldn't be impossible. It would definitely be possible. It would take someone who knows quite a bit about this stuff, since there's not exactly a whole lot of open source, like here's how to do this sort of stuff, information out there or libraries for that. But as far as making it more difficult, I mean, you could probably use some image recognition to recognize what kind of ore it is. Yeah. Because, like they said, they also have like that color coding for the different ores, if I understood that correctly. So you just check. So you just have the bot check what color it's seeing in that location, and then adjust its click hold delay. So it sees the ore, it lines up on some of the ore, and then it runs the image recognition, sees, okay, it's this kind of ore, so I'll hold it. So I'll press and hold left click for this amount of time before releasing it, repeat, and keep looking at new sections of ore. I mean, I don't really see that being a major issue, because literally the only thing that would change for having this and not having this would be the duration of holding a click.
Simple tutorial to how to create bots in Dual Universe, courtesy of Pengo 1998. Thank you, Pengo.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly.
I know. And then the second thing that I'm not big on is the way that you can link a primary container and just kind of like send any ores you want to that primary container. See, I feel like that's a bit too easy. I feel like you should be able to back up.
As long as it has a range limitation that's relatively short, so say you have to be basically, so this way you can't just send ores to a ship in orbit. You have to actually, use a ship to transport it into orbit instead of, you linking to a container in orbit and then going down on the planet and mining and just putting it straight up in the container in orbit. Yeah. As long as there's a range limitation on it, I like the idea, because I don't want to have to, mine, travel, the 200, 300 meters back up to the surface to drop off ore, go back down and repeat, 50 times a day or 50 times an hour or whatever. That just gets very tedious very quickly, gets very boring, and it's not very fun. I mean, you can look at it, so, I mean, that's kind of the way that, for instance, Space Engineers is set up. You go mining, if you're not using a ship and you don't have an easy way to get to that ship, and you're mining by hand, you're going to be making lots and lots of runs back and forth, unless you set your inventory multiplier higher. And it is the most annoying thing in the world.
Another thing that people are complaining about is the fact that this is only mining by hand and not vehicle mining. Personally, I don't mind it.
I would like to see vehicle mining.
Well, I feel like that's kind of a gray area, because I remember, I feel like a year or two ago, something like this came up. I know they're definitely against automated mining. It should definitely be the players, and I definitely agree with that.
I wouldn't want mining. Yeah, I mean, not having mining drones is okay, but there should definitely be a way to... But players should definitely have access to, at the very least, small-scale vehicle mining equipment. Because, I mean, I don't want to have to sit there and constantly move, my character on. For instance, if I'm in, because there's gonna be a mining aspect in space, I'd imagine, for asteroids and stuff. It'd be easier if I just had a ship that I could go over there with and mine the asteroid, rather than having to fly a ship over there, get out of my ship, and then, fly around in space to deal with it.
They just make a giant hand that kind of just waves around, and that's your large vehicle mining. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they did something either way, as long as they make vehicle mining very challenging to get, so only the dedicated miners are able to kind of
you can implement. Yeah, you can implement that with the skill system and make it so that the mining equipment can only be built by people who have gone through the mining skill tree, and it's one of the last sort of thing.
Okay. Here's something from Kurok. I believe they have said that mining elements won't be a thing. As soon as a mining element is added, people complain why it can't be automated. I think I remember that now. I remember.
to me that didn't quite make sense. The mining element won't be a thing. I mean, it is a thing. They have mining in the game.
Well, no, mining elements, like, that's what they call, like, the functional stuff on constructs, elements. Like, cockpit is an element, engine is an element. That's what it is. So, elements like a drill.
So no, okay, so no actual blocks. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't see why automation is a complaint there. I mean, it would be much easier. I mean, just because you can't automate it doesn't automatically mean that it's bad. I mean, being able to, I would say that maybe make it high level stuff and then make it so that it mines faster than if you're doing it by hand.
I don't know. We'll see.
Or you could even put it so that it's faster than level 0. Say if they implemented that upgrade system for your hand miner, make it so it's not as fast as the topmost level, but mines say slightly larger, a little bit larger of an area.
Yeah.
But also isn't as slow as the bottom level. But I mean, I don't see any reason why, it would be an idea that it would have that there's no point adding it if there's not going to be, automation for it. I mean, I don't see why that would be a reason. That's not really a reason why not to add it. I mean, I could see some other reasons that you might not want to add it, but I don't think not being able to automate it is a valid reason for that.
Fair enough. Personally, I don't really mind either way that they go. I can kind of see why they would go against mining elements because of the fact that they kind of want people to they want people to group up. So I mean, and if they group up, then I guess that would kind of eliminate the need for that in a way. Well,
not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I get that.
So for instance, if they make the veins say very large or have rare very large veins, you could take advantage of that and have multiple people out there in mining ships. Not only that, like I was saying, you wouldn't necessarily need to make it be much more effective than the player mining. You could make it so that it's slightly slower than the most upgraded level version of the hand mining, but it also covers
radius.
But a bigger range, a bigger radius of actual mining stuff, so that this way it has a use for mining larger amounts of ore at being slightly slower, so that by the end of it you could average out the time it takes and the range and the radius of the mining effect, so that it comes to about the same as say a hand done one, or maybe just very slightly faster. Then this way it's not going to be something that is going to be like, okay, well, now I've got this access to this stuff, so let's just not even use the hand mining tool. It'll be more of something like, okay, well, this is a larger vein, so I'll use this because it'll speed it up a little bit, but on smaller veins it won't really make that much of a difference.
We'll see where everything goes.
Because then it can become something more of a large-scale industrial application type thing, more when you're mining on large scales, rather than the individual person just going out and mining small amounts for their needs. Something for people who manufacture ships or something.
We'll see where everything goes, and I mean, that's something that will probably be a while to be introduced. So I'm not too worried about it right now. So yeah, that's basically about it for the video. They did show off some hovercraft stuff, some new hovercraft stuff, because in addition to mining and scanning, and the markets, they also added in a flight dynamics and flight mechanics overhaul. But so, yeah. Now, I've already shared my opinions on the R0.10 update as a whole. If you want to see my opinions on it, it's in I don't know, QCast episode 20 or something like that. I have my opinions, and I've shared them, and honestly, I'm not going to share them again, because honestly, I could care less at this point, because I'm not going to change anything. What was my opinion again? Alright, let's share my opinion. Okay, look, long story short, I personally felt like development time could have been spent better. Alright, that's it. That's it. I take it with as big of a grain of salt as you want, because I'm not a Nova Quark insider. I'm almost just as bad as fake news at this point. So, I really don't know. At this point, Nova Quark could literally just, fake news us and we'll be good. It's like, yeah. But that's my personal opinion, and I will hold by that personal opinion for eternity. But
do me a favor and link that article, because I do not feel like trying to search their website for that.
It's in the description of the stream. Should be.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Topic discussion, flight revamps, mechanic,
Awesome.
Dev blog. Yes, I am the king of fake news, Kurok. Thank you. Okay. So basically this first paragraph puts it in perspective best. I would go through and read this entire thing, but honestly, it's a huge fucking article. And honestly, as much as I'd love to take as much time as possible, I'm not generating ad revenue from this yet. Ad revenue, fun stuff. Even though it doesn't mean anything on YouTube anymore. But yeah.
Because the way you talk, you'd get demonetized.
Exactly.
So there's not even any point.
To find, and I mean, I show dual universe videos too. They'll copyright strike me. Whereas, did you hear that like there was a video that PewDiePie did a while back, just like offending girl streamers, and like this girl streamer was like,
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I don't actually
Alinity.
him. I would just want to point that out. But
Well, it was just funny the way that
other tuber.
She said that. It's just like, are you serious? Can we copy strike him? I'm going to copy strike him.
Yeah. Which technically, I
It
don't
was
even
funny.
think that was a legitimate copy strike. Like, because that falls under.
Just
It wasn't-
copy
that fell under-
strike.
Well,
Copy
I'm pretty
strike
sure
is
that
hilarious.
fell under fair use.
Yeah,
as well.
it was fair use. It was. You
So
can't
she
just do that.
wrongfully copy strike video.
Copyright strike. It's copyright.
Like, holy crap! And not only that, he was completely right. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
All right.
Like,
Drama,
he's-
drama. Not in the dual universe community. Let's not move.
What? but this is
She
literally.
was also an illegal immigrant.
Wait, what?
What?
She
What?
actually posted
No,
a video
not real life
where she-
politics. Never mind. Let's go.
That's
go
not
away.
politics. That's
Yes. Shut up. Let's move on.
immigration status.
Back to new engines and ship dynamics here. God, we go off on so many tangents. To find the best design for each purpose is what makes every challenge unique in the game. It is a need to understand the context, understand the mechanics, and allow for efficiency at every opportunity. When it comes to ship design in Dual Universe, this couldn't be a more true statement. We don't want a one-size-fits-all ship design that encompasses all atmosphere conditions, high or low altitudes, space, etc. That would be incredibly boring on the short term. We want ships that require specializations in order to bring a different perspective and fresh experience depending on the environment you travel in. And that's, yes, that is true, Kurok. Do drama. Orgs need to do stuff again. Definitely. We need more org drama. But I'm going to give my opinions on this whole thing. Because, like I said, I haven't been able to really experience the dynamics yet. So I can't speak on what it's like on a game. And even if I did do it, like, even if I did take part in the test, I still wouldn't be able to. So, because NDAs are fun. I will continue to say that until the NDA is gone. NDAs are fun. But look, it's not bad, and I definitely do agree with some of the stuff that they say in the article. And I definitely agree with the fact that Dual Universe should not have one-size-fits-all ships. I think diversity in ships is a good thing. And, I mean, instead of having, multi-role fighters, it's good to make trade-offs. Because, I mean, hell, if, like, in real life, right, you don't have trade-offs. If there was something that was just, like, literally the standard way of doing it, then literally everyone would do it, and you'd see no sort of, you'd see no sort of variation in design or anything. Maybe a few aesthetics, but other than that, not really. So you can talk about it because you haven't seen anything yet. Yo, I have not seen anything yet, Kurok. Thank you for stating that. But yeah, personally, I kind of like this update. But I will continue to say that I just think it came at the wrong time. So
I can say I completely disagree. This update's looking like something that they really should have sooner rather than later.
well,
I mean, this is I'm looking through some of the stuff that it's supposed to add, and it's adding things that to me I would consider extremely important to vehicles in general.
Mhm.
I mean, for instance, stabilizers. I mean, you don't want when you're trying to turn, you want your ship to actually start going the direction you're now pointing, rather than continuing to slide sideways when you turn left. I mean, and that's exactly what the stabilizers are there to do, is to reduce the amount of drift. I mean, that's kind of important.
Mhm.
It's hard to control your aircraft in an atmosphere when, you turn left and you start accelerating, but now the turn's going to take for freaking ever unless you actually stop yourself or actually slow down, or you actually point a little bit more aggressively. So if I want to turn 90 degrees to the left, I would need to point, say, something more like 120-ish degrees left instead of only 90, in order to help counteract some of that velocity I have going in the direction I was originally going in. Stabilizer should help fix some of that, so you don't have to do such an aggressive turn.
You done?
Here. Yeah, I'm still looking at this.
Okay.
I've only really looked at
you
stabilizers,
kind of just cut for a minute, so I was like
I mean, the wings are also kind of cool though.
Okay, here's my opinion, right? I personally just think that as of right now, like, the question of was it exactly needed at this point in time? Could this have waited until a later date?
Well,
and here was my
here's
thought.
the thing, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Whether this is implemented now or in 2 weeks, it's still got to be implemented. They're still going to implement it. It's not going to take them any more or less time to implement it now versus later. So does it really matter that they implemented it now rather than 2 weeks from now or whatever?
Well, this goes back to my original saying that I think development time could have been spent better, because of the fact that as of right now, especially with the markets, for some reason they moved that up to pre-alpha, when technically I think that was due out in beta. So that's already like, okay, fine, I guess. But the real thing that questions me is, where's crafting? I mean, that's the thing that I question.
I mean, okay, so you look at it this way. So generally with games, alpha and pre-alpha is more about adding like content, more physical content, and then, so in this instance, what I think they're trying to do is pre-alpha. They're trying to get more of the different items put into the game, because crafting itself is basically going to be maybe a couple of blocks and some code. It's not going to be a whole lot of modeling or mechanics. It's just going to be some code to say that if this block has, take this amount of these resources from an inventory, delete them, and spit out this item after so much time.
Well,
crafting is not that complex of a system to actually implement. So the way I see it is they're trying to get as many of the blocks in as possible, as quickly as, or earlier on. This way they can just go through, do like pretty much all of the crafting, setup, coding in one go. So they're not having to go, constantly reopen the crafting and add new recipes. They can just put everything in, so you can start testing the items, make sure the items work, and then worry about the crafting a little bit later, since the crafting isn't as likely to have any serious issues with it compared to the actual block. So for instance, if you have a wing providing lift in a wrong direction, that can be game breaking, especially if your ship relies on those wings. So you'd want to be able to get that fixed faster than you're concerned about crafting, which doesn't even really play a role yet, because
yes, it does play a role yet, because that's the one thing that's keeping us out of alpha at this point. That's the reason why I'm questioning their development practices, because of the fact that they implemented marketing.
Okay, well, let me ask you this though: what experience do you have in development?
None. And I mean, I admit that.
So
I say I don't know what I don't know their development processes.
Okay,
I don't.
Then why? Then there's no reason for you to question their practices. I mean, they have more experience than you.
Well, I'm questioning it
They
from
know
the
what
outside.
they're doing.
I'm questioning it from the outside looking in because of the fact they specifically said in their development videos that the reason why we are not in alpha at this point is because of 3 things: scanning, mining, and crafting. That's what they wanted for a complete game loop.
Well, here's the thing. So what you want them to do then is rush crafting just so they can enter alpha for no reason. I mean, there's really no point to rushing crafting. You rush things are not going to work properly. Things are going to be broken. And that means a whole bunch of bug fixes they've got to do and other problems that they've got to fix anyways.
I'm not asking them to rush it. I'm asking...
Okay.
They already have something available. They've shown it off in videos before. They already have something for crafting. The reason why
Well, here's the thing then. Not every single developer is going to be working on crafting. There's going to be some that are working on crafting, some that are not. Those other developers have to do something. You don't want them just sitting there doing nothing all day, 8 hours a day while you're paying them. So put them to work doing something else. They might get things done before the crafting comes out. I mean, there's absolutely there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. There's nothing questionable about the practice.
I misworded the practice, but development time. That's what I'm mainly...
I mean,
that's mainly what I'm talking about here.
They still would have spent this time adding this into the game at some point. Why does it matter if it's now or 2 weeks from now?
You have fun with your boring arguing. Wow, okay. We're not allowed to argue. This is entertaining. Come on. You should find this entertaining for us to be arguing. It's hilarious. Look, personally, I just think that they have something available. They already have a bunch of dedicated pre-alpha testers. I don't see why they don't, like... And, I mean, Kurok said it perfectly in the chat. Crafting is going to be complex. Like, JC has said that multiple times. But I don't see why they just kind of keep it with internal testing and not let us have and not let them get feedback from us. Like, I'm not asking them... I don't know.
Well, okay, okay. So what this tells me is that they're working on it. It's just that it's not currently in the game. So what your complaint should be isn't that they could have spent their time better. It's that you just want it in the game sooner, and you don't want to wait for them to do their internal testing first.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, I mean, that's literally kind of exactly what you just said after all of this. Is that you were complaining that it's not in the game, that it's not available to you yet, and that they are obviously making progress on it.
We don't know if
that's
they're making
literally
progress
what you
on it. We don't know.
That's literally what you were just complaining about, is that you wanted it essentially available to the pre-alpha testers.
Well, I'm questioning why they haven't made that available yet, but moved something up that they said was going to be in beta, or I think later alpha, and
because one team might be moving faster than everyone else, or might be moving a little bit faster. They might have had some good luck with something and got some things working on the first try, which gave them some time. So why not? Why would you just continue to keep that in beta when you could just move it forward?
Well, then the next.
I mean, while they're still waiting on crafting, I mean, there's no point for another team to just be sitting there, twiddling their thumbs for 8 hours a day for the next week or two while they're getting the crafting system working.
Well, I mean, the question is that how many people are actually, how many different groups of people are actually working on this? Because keep in mind, Nova Quark's not a big company.
No, but I'm sure they still have at least 2 or 3 different development, teams that work on separate things. Those teams might only include, 2 or 3 people for some of those teams, but I'm sure they have more than just one team that's working on, different teams that are working on the project.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not going to be able to change their opinion because, well, RZO.10 is already out. So, I mean, it's not like I could just go back in time saying, hey, don't do this. But, I mean, and honestly, even if I could, I doubt that they'd listen to me because I'm just an idiot.
Probably not.
But I disagree with that, Kurok. It's not available yet, most likely because it's not ready for us yet. They obviously have something because they wouldn't have shown it off in videos if they didn't have something.
Well,
And
but here's
keep in
the
mind,
thing.
that original video that they showed off crafting is over a year old.
Yes, but keep this in mind too, though. What that video could have shown was, say, a special test case scenario, so it wasn't actually all implemented. It was just something set up to show what it would be like, not that it actually worked. I mean, it could be a simple script that when they click a button, it just adds it to the inventory without taking into account anything else. I mean, it just because it looked like it worked doesn't necessarily mean it works in the way that they actually want it to work.
But I mean, the thing is that from what it appeared, and keep in mind, as I've said, this is from the outside looking in. From what it appeared like, they had something. And I don't know why they'd rather not implement that, a vital feature that they said that they wanted to implement and they wanted to focus on.
Well, there's your key word, though. It appeared. You don't know for certain that it actually was a working example, like I was saying. It's one thing to make a script that just says when button is clicked, add this to inventory, than it is to do when button is clicked, check if they're able to craft this, get the amount of materials it takes to craft it, remove the amount of materials it takes to craft this, or add it to a build queue or whatever, have that running in the background once it finishes.
The thing is that it did do all of that stuff. I could literally pull up the video right now. But
it might ignore certain things that they otherwise would have within the game. Not only that, they might have to do this in a special way for each item, and it might take them a while.
Oh well. Regardless, that's my opinions, and of course, what do I know? I'm not a developer. I'm just an idiot on the internet that can't even formulate complete sentences most of the time. So, what do I know? That's just my opinion.
Sentences.
What?
Who needs complete sentences?
Yeah, just do like fragments and stutter at almost every other word, That's what you do. I just personally think that's just my personal opinions, and honestly, they aren't going to change. But whatever. But I do think that this flying stuff is definitely going to be nice because it's going to add in diversity. And I think diversity is something that they need. But I just think that I'm just questioning why now. That's my only thing. But, whatever. Like, something I was actually thinking about this morning when I reread over the article. This would have been a perfect thing to add in at alpha, like right when alpha hits, right? Think about it. Because, like, at that time, people are going to be learning all these new mechanics and stuff. People are going to have to rebuild ships from scratch, right? They're going to have to kind of learn. It would be kind of a cool experience for them to, like, maybe stream or, like, make videos showing them, like, messing up and them, like, swearing and, like, breaking stuff. Think about how funny that would be. Like, that's definitely what I would do, just, like, me trying to make a ship. That'd be hilarious, because I can't do that. Yeah. I'm amazing. Funny moments. Nothing? No one?
No.
Okay, I'll go to my corner now. Alright, but, oh well. I'm honest, like I said, I'm no developer, and as Pengo has pointed out, and I'm just someone on the internet who does things. I do things. Not many good things, but I do things. Cringey, how are you doing? You haven't talked that much. You doing well?
I'm alright, I don't want to argue.
Where's the fun in that? Arguing is fun. You do it with your brother all the time.
You think I enjoy it?
Yeah. Alright, moving onward. I don't know if they showed off the new screenshot Saturday yet. No, they have not. But at least the one from last week, they do have the one from last week. This will be the last thing we talk about because we've got nothing else. Unless if anyone has anything else to add. But, yeah, this is the one from last week. Since I was not able to do since I was not able to do something... Yes. Since I was not able to make a QCast last week. There's a complete sentence. I did it. I don't know how I graduated high school. I really don't. But, yeah. It honestly looks cool. They are on a planetary body of some sort. They are racing some sort of vehicle.
No, I thought they were on a, on a star.
Oh no, they're on a planetary body. I'm pretty sure
that could be a star, or it could be an asteroid.
I think it's a planetary body, right?
It's a black hole.
It's some sort of mass, right? It is some sort of mass of some sort of, like, yes, correct, Kurok. It does look rather icy or snowy, so, and you can see that there is light, so it is obviously during the daytime. There are some type of vehicles, moving in some sort of direction, in the way that it looks like with the sun, kind of with the ambient light. Maybe it looks like they're moving towards, like, the east, because it looks like maybe, like, late morning, so, like, sun rises in the east, right? So, hey, maybe they're going, that way. Yeah, there are some types of structures in the background. I don't know what they do.
Are you sure? They could be natural. They could be rock.
I think they're structures. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I know I might get banned by saying this, but I think they are structures. I think they are man-built structures. Like, they are.
I don't know. They look a lot like rocks.
We just need to continuously get, like, more vague every time. We gotta get. We'll start listing off the colors, just like.
Got some, like, some dark rocks on the left. You got some lighter colored rocks on the right.
They have some letters at the top that spell out dual universe. I don't know what that could mean. Maybe it's like some kind of Easter egg. I'm not sure.
Or maybe it's not on the picture. Maybe it's just like a ship inside the environment.
Who knows? Maybe we could go back to the Blue Drake 42 days and said that all this stuff was made in, like, models and they just imported it in, right? You guys remember that one? Well, wait, you guys joined late. Yeah, back when, speaking of which, this is 2 years now since Dual Universe came to E3, because E3 is going to be Monday now.
Yeah, I cannot wait for E3 tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, actually, that Bethesda's having their E3 conference.
Yeah. I remember watching the PC Gamer show, and that was the only year that I actually, like, watched E3, because I was like, I normally didn't watch it. I normally don't watch it.
This will be my first year watching E3, and I'm only watching Bethesda's conference because I want to find out about Fallout 76.
Well, I have watched E3 multiple years in a row. 2015 was my first one, but I've never actually seen one live. Well, no, actually, no, correct. I'm incorrect. I've seen one live. I think that's something like Nintendo's or something.
The reason why I watched the PC Gamer show in 2016 was because I just finished building my gaming PC, and I was like, all right, I want to see some cool PC stuff. So, and I saw Dual Universe, and I was like, hey, that's awesome. So, and look at where we are now, 2 years later. but yeah, it's cool. But I remember when Dual Universe first, like, got announced, everyone was kind of got super yes, there is some type of person taking the picture. Maybe he's using, like, some type of cool
How do you know
camera.
it's a person?
I don't
know. It's not a robot?
Maybe it's an alien. Maybe it's some type of alien species that's like.
So aliens aren't people now?
I don't know. Maybe are they? I don't know.
Aliens are
humanity
not
first, all right? Humanity first.
Racist against aliens.
Yes, I am. I want humanity first, please. But
make humanity great again.
Make humanity. Oh dear God. All right. So.
Must kick out the illegal aliens.
Okay, thank you. Tango. All right. What if there are only humans? What if we are the only sort of intelligent life forms now? What if we
It'll be a very, very sad universe.
Yes.
Very disappointing and very empty.
Yes. But back to what I was saying about the E3 stuff. When Dual Universe first came out, Blue Drake 42 made a bunch of videos saying, oh, these were made in like some type of 3D modeling thing and just kind of exported over. They aren't actually building game. And then like I remember the day afterwards, NovaQuark showed off like a video on Twitter, right? Saying like, no, like we can literally like break these. And then that was hilarious. I thought that was kind of cool because that was kind of funny.
See, I always like it when companies or famous people will actively like call out people who just spout bullcrap.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's part of the reason why I love Elon Musk's Twitter.
But yeah, those were the good old days. I still have that passion for Dual Universe. As much as I question this update, I still do like it. Don't think that I'm like hating on Dual Universe. Don't think that I'm turning into a Blue Drake. I do love Dual Universe. Don't worry. I mean, hell, if I didn't like Dual Universe, why would I be doing this stuff every week? Why would I continuously go live and look like an idiot?
Because maybe we're just holding you at gunpoint or something and forcing you to do it. I don't know.
Sure. We could go with that. Let's see what else is going on in this picture. That looks to be about it.
Kind of looks like they're racing.
Yeah, maybe. Wait,
and it kind of looks like there's a tank about to come around that corner up there.
Maybe. I think that's more of like just a giant, like, I don't know. Maybe.
Either a futuristic tank or that's the front end of a ship.
Maybe. But they possibly are racing because definitely not because of the comment under it from Dual Universe.
Wait, what? Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's literally what you were going
Nope,
with.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, let's race.
I mean, it would kind of make a little bit of sense too, because they all appear to be the exact same ship, so it would make the race even.
What the hell?
So it's a matter of skill rather than someone just taking a ship with a ridiculous number of thrusters strapped to it and calling it a day.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. So this was kind of fun. Kind of more arguing and kind of like ranty, but it was still fun. But yeah, that's about it. We don't have anything else unless Pengo, Cringey, do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Thank you, Cringey. Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, I think we're pretty much done for the week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, we'll be back next week. I'm back to doing this like once every week, even though content is very tough to come by. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm like scraping the bottom of the barrel at this rate. But yeah, I'll be back next week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps get our content out there. All the links to Pengo and Cringey, also Rocky, since he was here for like a minute at the beginning. There are links.
I wonder what that link.
Their links are in the description. Also, the topics to everything we discussed are in the link. Are in the link.
Yeah.
Yes, they are in the description. So, yeah, we want to go check out that stuff. So, other than that, we will see you guys next week. Bye.